Did you know that good nutrition is critical for brain health? Brain food. Ensure has B vitamins that help support brain health. Now that's smart nutrition.
Ensure's complete balanced nutrition has 26 vitamins and minerals and 9 grams of protein. Ensure, take life in.
This football season, we get anything we want. Any toppings, any specialty, any large Pizza Hut pizza for just $10.
Well, this could last forever.
But it won't. Now until September 27th, bring on the flavor with a $10 any carry-out deal. Only at Pizza Hut.
I love her. Labor Day sale.
Yeah.
Pool tables only $15.99. Entertainment center $7.99.
Is Liam still?
Guys, hello and welcome to Skycurser Daily number 88. We are working on boss for level 2. We have two major enemies for the boss for level 2. One is Julio, one is Cesar. And we've already basically got most of Julio done, and we're working on all of Cesar's attacks right now. So that's what we're going to be probably spending the majority of our time on for this stream. And we will go ahead and jump in here. I want to go ahead and hit play here so we can see where we left off. At the end of yesterday, which I did not stream, but I was able to get some work done in terms of making sure Cesar's shield, which are a combination of cars and containers, that they come up when he starts charging up, and then encircle him and rotate around him. And the important part here is that we needed to be able to make him move while they were circling around him, and we were able to accomplish that. So we made a lot of progress yesterday, and I want to show that to you guys right now. But I will be working on how that whole shield is supposed to be working with Cesar today. So that's what we're going to see a little bit more of. And right now I'm just waiting on the compile. Blow this up so you guys can see it.
She burned down my apartment? Yeah, who's that? Keep looking. Okay. Maybe if somebody hired her to explain all the cash in her apartment and jumped into a lot of stuff.
No, I like that thinking. I mean, I don't like that thinking.
I got it.
Okay, so we're almost in game here.
Maybe just correctly on its phone.
Every other word is baby.
So he was her boyfriend.
Oh yeah. There's lots of these. But they own boys.
Oh, I'm sure she torched my phone. Okay. So maybe it's like this from Hobart.
So that's what we got going so far, and I'm pretty satisfied with that. at the very end there, we saw Cesar move, and the cars stayed rotating around him as we expected them to. So now the next piece I'm working on is just where is Cesar going to move to, and how is he going to do his next attacks. His next attacks are basically going to consist of his hand trying to punch Skycurser, and the cars will continue spinning back where they were when he left for the punch. And then whenever he gets reconnected with the cars and the cargo containers, he is going to throw each one of them at Skycurser, depending on where he's at, one at a time. So, and then he'll recharge up and or fly off screen and kind of do the tag team thing with Julio. So that's where we're at so far. The next piece for me to do, let me read here. I'm reading the scripting. These objects will float around Cesar and act as shields that protect him from the player's fire. However, the player can still damage Cesar by firing at the gaps between the cars. So that means right now that those containers and cars will need to be basically impervious to bullets. Then Cesar will go back to his punching cycle. However, when he punches, the cars do not follow him but continue to circle in the position that Cesar returned to after throwing his punches. After 2 missed sets of punches this time, Cesar will quickly move to the center right-hand side of the screen and shoot the cars towards the player. The cars should travel slightly faster than his laser rings and can only be destroyed by the player's weapons, not deflect or dodge. So there you have it. That's what I'll be working on. So that being said, let's go ahead and open up Cesar and start working on him. So we got the step event here, and what we need to do is kick off phase 4, which we've basically already done by proving that he moves to the right hand side of the screen. But he's not actually going to do that. He's going to go into his set of punches. So let me see if we're going to probably just pull some of this same code because it's going to be slightly different because the cars are going to continue to float around. So let me also look at, I did have these obstacles here for level 2, the obstacles that are spinning, and I had a base spinning object, and this is where we do our code. So I modified it slightly from where we were at the end of last stream. Where we were last time was trying to set up a path and have the obstacles fly along the path. Well, that worked all fine and good, but the second that you want Cesar to move, then the path doesn't follow Cesar. So had to work on looking up how to get objects to orbit around a particular other object. So this really was the solution, and it simply had, we simply set up a couple of variables here. These are the main variables that we set up: the angle, the radius, the speed, and whether or not the parent had been set. The parent gets set at right here, where we say this vehicle's parent, and parent is just kind of a loose term here. It doesn't have to do with any sort of inheritance of objects, but the parent in this case is Cesar. And then once we say yes, the parent has been set, then we can begin orbiting around that particular parent with just 3 lines here, really. Orbit angle plus equals orbit speed. Again, those are variables that were set here in the step event, in the create event. And then now that we have a parent associated with this guy, we can make sure that he orbits around the X and Y position of the parent based on these other 2 functions, which basically get the length between a particular point and you pass in a radius and an angle, and it knows exactly how far to draw, or in this case, have this particular object hold an X and Y position around the parent. So I think I caught you up to where I was, and I wanted to make sure I got that piece in there so that you knew how I modified this since last we talked. So now that we are in this particular place, we are at phase 4, and next steps, like I said, are for Cesar to begin going back to his punching cycle, and we're just going to grab some code similar to what we had previously, and use that in order to get him to punch as we expect him to. I'm just looking for the code here and making sure everything looks good. I think this is the section that I need, really. So the thing is, this section is going to be a little different than our other section, because at some point, whenever he goes to punch, we got to make sure the cars freeze in their position and rotate around where Cesar was instead of where he is. So I think I'm just going to use some of the very similar code here. I'll get this spinning object out of the way for a minute. Pull this up, and I think, guys, I'm probably just going to duplicate some of these properties here, and just basically count them as version 2 of the same property. And I think I just got all of them. I'm going to make sure here.
The fire inspector still had your door in the evidence locker. I was thinking about what you said about having a very good lock, so I brought it here. And you did, and it was picked.
I think that's it right there. I mean, there's no point in me rebuilding this code, and there's not... Could I put this into a script? Yes. But do I want to get this off the ground so we can keep moving forward? Yes. Will I come back and refactor this code in the future? Yes. So that's just kind of how that stands. What's up, Chris? How's it going, man? Good to see you, dude. So let's just increment these here so that we're not really at all interfering with any of the previous ones. And then we'll do the same thing in this phase. So phase 4, I'm just going to, like I said, increment all the properties here that we see that we just modified over in the create event. Don't have to touch XPOS and YPOS because those are variables and those are set at runtime, basically runtime in this particular step. Continuing, original step speed is a base property. I don't need to modify that. Distance is determined on the fly here, and this really should be a var. We go back up here and modify this to var as well. This is the one found in phase 2, but now back to phase 4. So continuing forward here, heading up 2 is definitely something that I need to modify. Again, another var. It looks like that means I got another var I got to modify up here. If you're keeping track with me here. Okay, back to phase 4. Part 2, part 2. Oh, part 2. And actions are fine there. Part 2, part 2, part 2, part 2, part 2. We're getting there, we're getting there.
It's a matter of the details. She was going to start using again.
2,
You know what you call an extra
2, 2, 2, 2, 2.
Over.
And this will go from phase 2, 3, and we'll go to phase 4, 5. Phase 4, phase 5. And I think this is, phase 4 starts right here. Phase 5, and for now phase 5 is not really anything.
Something wrong?
One thing that we've been doing is either a debug message once you hit the next phase, or movement. So move to phase 5. There it is. Alright. Let's just review this one more time before I hit go on this. Now, the one difference...
No, it's the connection between a mother and her child that's always there. Right.
The one difference here that we're going to see on the actual jab is that we're going to have a way to freeze the cars. So here are the cars. We're going to have a way to freeze these guys and have them float around the particular spot that they've just been given. So let's say and not frozen point. Else if parent set and frozen point, then we'll have them rotate around a particular point. And guys, this really shouldn't be too difficult here.
Yes.
So I've just got to make sure I'm thinking how I'm going to let them figure out what the point is that I'm going to have them float around, and I'm still trying to formulate that in my head real quick. So the point equals false. So over here, when I decide that I'm actually going to take a jab, let's see,
There's also a date, the 26th.
jab started right here. What I'll do is I'll say
This is my watch.
vehicle.frozen, right? I'll grab the list of vehicles here. Drop this loop in here so we can handle the vehicles as we want to. And we'll just loop through every single one of the vehicles, and then we'll set the frozen point to true. And we will also
First priority. It's your only priority. This watch is a ticking clock. It's a message.
vehicle.frozen point is true. And then whenever the hand reaches its final location again, we will basically set that to false. But give me a second here, because there's going to have to be one other variable that I associate with this, and it's going to have to be like parent x, parent y, parent y. And so here on the step event, we're going to say parent x, parent y. That should do it right there. So the way I'm going to do that, because we know that the parent has been set, we have access to the parent here. And so we say vehicle.parent.
The department is paying for a bodyguard?
Let's go vehicle.parent x equals vehicle.parent.x. Or in other words, it's actually the current x position of Skycurser, so let's just use x or y. So that should allow this all to occur as we expect it to. We'll verify that here momentarily. How do we know when we're done? Let's figure it out, because it's going to be based off of what the image index is for the sprite. So I am looking for that image index. Here we go. This is Skycurser. Now he's done at 12.
Yeah.
So we've got him done at 12.
You don't have to say what you did.
And that means right here, really, is where we should say,
Tell me how the investigation's going.
Well, I questioned every resident in that halfway house, and it's just like the Sky ex-boyfriend said. Dan Sampson had a new guy, but no one's seen him. He's a ghost, so dead end. Oh, and the balloons that you pull out of the stomach are from a shoe
let me
store.
add one more
I keep
piece to the
wall gives.
create event of the spinning object, which will be frozen point set is false.
I have to figure out
And we'll do a couple of things here. If frozen point set is not true, then and only then do we run this. And of course we'll set it to true right here, because immediately following we're doing the loop. And down here we will do a similar loop.
What are you doing?
I was just cleaning up the room for you. Just one more
Except
time.
the point here is that we're going to unfreeze. And at this point, we are basically reconnecting each one of these vehicles back with the parent, and not this point that the parent was. And we'll say frozen. At the same time here, we'll say
I'll make sure you're around with you dreams, whatever those are.
I did set this on the
I'm making my
spinning obstacle,
a reality. It was thwarted earlier today.
but I need to set this instead on the on Cesar, so let me do that real quick. But I do want to put it here as well. Frozen point set equals false. So we put it back to false, so eventually it can hit here again. Okay, I do want to set this on the parent, which is right here. Frozen point set equals false. That should do it. I think we might have it right there. And short of any mistakes that I made, we'll come back and clean up. Cancel. Let's still open here. This guy. Totally fine with closing that. Let's hit play.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta go.
Don't read the front page of the sports.
I started with sports. How's the pizza coming to tell for 15 minutes? It should be free.
Grilled, more rotten. Sounds like it. It was simple to there. Some chicken breast in the fridge and combine some spices from the pantry.
The text line. I don't want to say that I'm a eating angel, but if it takes it
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, so we got a bug here. Oh look, we got him out of the bug, and the cars are doing what they should be doing. Yeah, look at that, man. Oh, that's perfect.
What is it?
So we gotta fix whatever that bug is right there. Probably a small bug, and I think it's right here. I think I just saw it when I came back in here. So that'll probably fix it right there, actually. So let's try this one more time.
Hi, Mom. Hi. I know you got that work thing going on, so I just came to drop this off. Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you.
Smells fantastic.
It looks good.
Did I make that six-pack look real far?
I'm in. I like her.
So I'm sure you have a few questions.
Come on.
All about that secret work operation, okay?
No, I've learned it's none of my business.
Really? Well, because you know, everything's fine.
Wow, well,
There it is. Got out of that bug. So right now he just is going, because I haven't set him to do anything else yet, we should see a compile saying that we hit phase 5, which we did, and so therefore he was just going into a default there. So of course let's just go action equals normal here. Boom. You know, one thing I'll probably do in general anyways is have those objects move in a little bit faster. I think I'm fine with where they are now, but I'll probably have them move in just a tad bit faster. Yeah, it looks really good, man. Alright, so after that, he misses 2 sets of punches. He then moves to the right hand side of the screen, shoots the cars towards the player. So that's phase 5. Phase 5. Simple movement. Let's get him to move to the right hand side of the screen. This is the spot, basically. Right hand side of the screen, middle, and we'll have him shoot the cars. And so let's pull in the create event again. Let's say car shooting position was false. Say if car shooting position, else we pull it in right here. And so we also want to set car shooting position of false right here. Or sorry, to true. So we know we're in position actually the second that we get right here. Okay. Alright, now this is the fun part. Once he's in position, we're going to shoot these cars at Skycurser one at a time. And we'll have to modify a couple of properties on the cars. So again, let's just pull this loop in to grab the cars.
Get some sleep, okay?
I plan to. Around 5:27.
And I think at this point, the second that one of these flies off screen, we destroy. Let's just say the second that all of these fly off screen, we destroy the DS list for the vehicle. The DS list being the data structure list that is storing this group of guys. Out of curiosity, can the object spin around him a bit slower? Yeah, definitely. They can spin around him way slower. But I mean, also when they spin around him slower, there's only four of him. 4 of them spinning around him, so that'll be a lot of opportunity for, you know, him to take damage. So I don't know if you want that or not. I guess I envisioned them spinning around a little bit faster so that it would be harder to hit him. But yeah, I can slow it down. That's easy. Easy peasy. Okay. So now we got this group here. I think we're going to have to set a cooldown counter. Car shot cooldown equals 0. And then car shot. I'll get that in a second. Yeah, let's leave it for now. Yeah, I'm just feeling like the if they're going too slow, it's just going to be, he's going to take too much damage. I already haven't programmed anything in yet to make sure that they jump off screen at any time if they fall below the quarter hit points. And I actually feel like that quarter hit points is going to be really low. Like, I'm thinking we might, we'll see, but I'm thinking that it might be better if they're like half of Gaki's hit points, because I'm pretty sure they're going to take a lot of damage. But we'll see. We'll play it by ear. I'll do a quarter first and see if that's too quick. If it's not too quick, great. Okay. So let's say cars shot equals 0. And instead of really looping through each one of these, I can just, depending on which car is shot. So if car shot cooldown is greater than or equal to room speed times, I don't know, let's go with 1.5 seconds for now. Maybe even 1 second in between each one. I'll test that in a minute, but okay, and we'll just do car shot cooldown ++, and we'll say cars shot. Nope, we'll do cars shot as soon as this is complete. Cars shot ++, and then we'll reset car shot cooldown to 0 as soon as we've actually shot the car. Okay, it's fine to reset it there. I will say we gotta open back up the spinning object here, and we'll set a property that says car shot is false.
Charging your phone with my car. This car has a special feature.
We'll say this guy is the most important. If parent set and car shot, then do this first. And so at that point we say
It's 9 o'clock. I gotta get to the
I'm thinking we say, where's Skycurser? We find the direction. And Skycurser's X and Y position. We'll drop that in here.
How you doing?
And we also got to make sure Skycurser exists if we're going to shoot at Skycurser. Fill it out though, yeah. Object Skycurser. So don't want to send him in the direction of Skycurser if Skycurser is off screen. In other words, the player died or something like that. Otherwise we'll have an error if we try to find the X position of Skycurser. Object Skycurser.X, find that, and object Skycurser.Y, and we just shoot it in that direction, and we give the speed of, I don't know, let's say 6. That might be really fast, but let's try that.
The numbers are digital.
Car has been shot, and we don't need to keep setting this, so
The watch is 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. I gotta
car velocity, sorry, that's not correct. Car vector set equals false. And car vector has not been set. Vector, as you're familiar, is a combination of speed and direction, so that's all we're saying there, is that the speed and direction have been set or not, because we don't need to keep setting it every step once we hit this point in time. Alright, so let me think about this. We will then say at the very end here,
Okay, I'll get everybody to work on it. Just order back upstairs.
No, of course
if car shot, if
They'll be expecting a guard.
let me think about this.
Now let's get it back to station.
If the parent is set and the car is shot, if X is less than 0 plus, let's say 0 minus sprite get width.
What do you see?
Somebody trying to rip apart my life.
What do you think the watch means?
I gotta look at the widths of each of these and just pull. I'm just gonna pull the largest one of these options. Enemies, nope. Obstacles, obstacles level 2, obstacles spinning. This guy's 50 wide. I wonder if they're all 50. Nope, that one's 47. That one's 60. And that one is 60. So I'm just gonna do. Whoops. Sprite spinning crate 1. Sprite spinning crate 1. That's the widest of all of them. Or X is greater than room width plus same thing. Actually, let's just make this calculation only once, or have this function only run once. Widest spinner equals that. Zero minus the widest spinner, or room width plus the widest spinner. Then we know we're out of bounds on left or right, or Y is less than 0 minus sprite get height. Widest spinner width.
Well, you gotta have it be when you're scared for Jade. And Jade doesn't know how to be.
Widest spinner height, and I'm okay with this. Let's just verify that I might want a different one. 51, 43, 60 is perfect. Okay. Widest spinner height, and that's perfect on all of them.
Just lay your
About.
So make sure I update my properties here,
hate letters.
and then I will grab this guy. Or Y is greater than room height plus tallest spinner height. So he's all the way off screen. Like any of these objects are all the way off screen. Then we say width self instance destroy. Now, why don't we just put this on the outside and make this available to these to the object on the step event at any time? Well, the reason why is because in either of these steps, they might fly outside of the room, but I want them to fly back inside the room. And I don't want to destroy the object while the object should still be spinning around the boss. I only want to destroy the object if they have been shot at Skycurser. So I think I like that. I think I'm good with the way that all this looks. So let's set up car shot to occur. I don't think I have that set up yet. So all we do, say vehicle car shot equals true. And that should do it right there. That should set everything in motion.
And contrary to the worldview of romance novels,
You should fly off screen, it should destroy itself, and then later on, he should be able to call in another new list of vehicles. So let me check something. I've got a vehicle DS list here. I think what I want to do is just destroy the references to the vehicles on this. Because I think I have a DS list add here.
We'll let you get back to work. No.
Just looking, give me a minute.
Okay.
You told us what you wanted.
Phase 4, I think it would be in phase 3. Yeah, I do an instance create and I do a DS list add right there. So I would like to destroy a record at a DS list record. See the best way to do that, the game maker says. Let me think. No, I mean, I can still do this very easily right here. Let's just destroy the current DS list at this point, this guy right here, because we're going to get rid of all of the vehicles. Vehicle DS list destroyed is false. So what I want to do is say the number of cars that go through here. First one's going to be 0, second one's going to be 1, third one's going to be 2, fourth one's going to be 3. What I want to do is say if cars shot is equal to 3, we've shot 4 cars because we have a 0-based index. We've shot all 4 cars, 0-based index. Make sure I'm not missing chat. Oh man. So P-Dog Jr., I ended up moving away from the MP grid thing and found a better solution, which is a very simple solution that allows the objects to rotate around a particular body. So like, you know, kind of like a planet and a moon. I've got an orbit set around Cesar, and Cesar can move as I want him to and as I tell him to, but all of the objects maintain that orbit around him while he's moving. And if you want to see any of that, you can go back and look at the very, like, probably in the, I covered that in the first 5 or 6 minutes of the stream. It's exactly what I did in the code of what I used. It's about 3 lines plus it's about 3 lines in the step event and about 3 or 4 lines in the create event of each of the spinning cars that does the trick. Okay, so I want to do a DS list destroy here. Just want to get rid of it. Got to get rid of the index vehicle DS list, and guess what? I'm going to create another one right here, vehicle DS list. We'll go equals DS list create. So that basically reinstantiates the property and associates it with the boss here. Destroy this one and recreate one immediately. Because there's no reason once I've shot the cars to maintain the DS list. Now I just destroy it, and the next time that it needs to create one, I've got one, and then the cars begin getting added as expected to the new DS list. And let me see here. I do want to destroy it at some point altogether and let it be done, but let me see what else I have to do here. Cars should travel slightly faster than his laser rings and can only be destroyed by the player's weapons. If Cesar hasn't been damaged past his loop, he'll restart his loop. When he hits his limit, he quickly flies off screen and returns with Julio. I think what should happen, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, on this first time that he's out there, if he hasn't been damaged past his HP, he doesn't restart his loop. Instead, he basically tags Julio back in, and then Julio will still be getting damaged, and then he retag, you know, when he gets down below his HP, he retags in Cesar. Cesar gets below his HP, so basically you could have an extra cycle if you're not quick enough, and then they both come out together. I think that's how I would imagine that you were hoping that it would go. Okay. So cars shot equals 3. what do we do next? I think what we're going to do, the funny thing is, I think Chris did an animation for Cesar that I'm not even using, not to give myself more work or anything, but I don't think I'm using the uppercut. I'm using everything else except for the uppercut. So maybe I have him, I don't want to add more work, but maybe I have him fly to just past the middle of the screen and do an uppercut and then fly off screen. I'm going to take that liberty and do that. Phase 5 equals false, phase 6 equals true. Else if phase 6, again, just have him fly right to where I need him to do the uppercut, and that is going to be room width divided by 4 times 1. And in other words, that would just be room width divided by 4. Room height divided by 4 divided by 5 times 4. I basically want him to fly to the bottom of the screen so he can do this uppercut. Alright, and then once he reaches his distance, he's going to activate the uppercut. Phase 4 equals false, phase 5 equals false. Why did these work without them being here? It's because I basically set them at runtime in the middle of the step event. But to have them here and declared is not going to hurt anything, and it kind of lets myself or anybody else who's looking at this code later know that there's at least 6 phases. And the last phase, I'm going to put phase 7 will basically be a fly off. Phase 7 equals false. So what we do here, I want to go to the very bottom. I guess I never used this, so I want to make sure I use this. I don't want to destroy the list if it's not there, otherwise I'll have an error. Okay, I'm good with that. This is going to be uppercut position false, uppercut position equals true, and if uppercut position, do this, else do this, uppercut position is true. Nope, that's not correct. Cool. If uppercut position, then let's look at that animation script. So give me just a second here to look that up. Level 2, boss 2, animation, uppercut, boom. Action equals uppercut. That should basically do it, and we will based off of the animation, which ends at 14 anyways. If floor image index is equal to 14, then
Secret behind the scenes of Missouri Isles.
action equals normal, and phase 6 equals false, phase 7 equals true. Did I set up phase 7? Yes, I did. Good.
Yeah, but it means
And
something.
then
5, 2, 6, 2, 6, 5.
else if phase 7, boom, very simple, fly off screen.
Dashed. In the bottom of the floor, there's a bottle of ink on it.
Oh man, we're getting so close to being able to have them both come out at the same time. We're getting really excited. Okay, so his position off screen is going to be very similar to Julio's position off screen, so I got to open up Julio and just remember where I put him at.
It would be in the New Testament.
Julio, where did you go to your final place to fly off screen?
Something is Matthew 5, verse 26.
Honestly, I think I just grab this and I'll be done.
That's what this is about. It's about revenge. That's why it's a gift on the back of it. It's engraved love, love.
I gotta make sure off screen exists. It does. It's set to true. When he comes out, immediately it should be set to false. So that we just kind of have that property set up so we can tell exactly when he's on and off screen. Okay, so instead of getting the width of Julio, we get the width of Cesar. Y position here. So we're just going to have him fly off to the middle. Leave at the same speed you entered. There it is, 8. Direction, distance less than 10, action equals normal, phase 7 equals false, off screen equals true, phase 1 equals true, initial entry. I'm fine with those basically. Complete, hover started. I don't have any hover variables on Cesar, though maybe I should, but for now I'm going to remove those. So basically, as soon as he flies off screen, then I'm going to reset just kind of where he's going to sit at, right? So he'll basically sit off the screen to the bottom right, and reset loop, pass in self, true, true. Let's look at that script real quick. Enemies, level 2, boss 2, reset loop. And here's the entire reset loop for boss 2. Guess what? We're going to do the same thing for boss 2 Cesar. Surprise, surprise. Bet you didn't see that coming. Okay, let's grab R0, drop that in front of all these. Lots of variables for the loop. Boom. Okay, now what am I doing here? Let's look at this. If activated, if arg1, which is true, which is Boolean for loop reset, not started movements, and Boolean to tag partner in. So I think I pretty much need almost the exact same things here. Let me just look at these for a minute. Speed. Honestly, it's like the reverse of what I have here, and I think I'm just going to go for dropping this in. Except I have to make sure it's the opposite of all these. So tag Julio. This is Julio. Okay, that's good, good, good. This should be tagged Cesar equals false, so Cesar is not tagged. This is Julio right here. This should be Julio, this should be Cesar, this should be Cesar. Yeah. Julio, Cesar. Okay. Boom. Now, last but not least, we've got to update this guy. Probably similar to how we already have this one. That's in the create event.
Here we go with the 2-car garage and the storage above.
Wow, there's a lot of room in here.
Yeah. Jake is all about the garage. With so many toys and cars and tools that he's got, this is really a good
Bye-bye loop variables. You've already been set.
As far as style goes, this house is
Been set here in the reset loop. Sweet. This is going to be so tight. Okay.
It's at $285.
Let's see what we got here.
We already have 5 offers on it.
so at $285 to start, you only have 5 offers. One way and a half hour to get this place. Kind of is all about
All right.
money, so this is way over already. I think I'm a little pressure.
One thing I did want to do is just send well, let's make sure Cesar gets all the way through his loop, and then as soon as we prove it, we'll probably just switch back and we'll hop out and make sure we just set Julio to be the first one to come out.
Can you guys tell me how to build a wall? Question like what's it?
And something in my updates here, which is probably the fact that I set him to not activated. Sorry about that. Is what's keeping him from being activated. So let's go look at that real quick. That should fix it. Okay, we're missing something here. He is not firing them, so I programmed through a lot. That just means there's like 1 or 2 things I'm missing here. So let's figure out what would be preventing him from shooting those cars.
Very first job interview in the fashion world since graduating from Parsons years ago. This is just my sketchbook.
Okay, let's look at these variables.
Things that I've designed.
I love the way you rendered these canvas.
Thank you.
So what do you feel your strengths are?
I'm in love with gowns.
I can see.
That's why I really love your company.
Okay, I'm kind of right here. Let me just make this large as well.
There's just only a few lines that I've had that feeling about.
Okay.
I really love all of your designs, and I love the construction.
Car shooting position.
Drawn out, illustrated, and I'm really happy to
Shooting
say that
position is true. I set it to false by default. That looks good to me. He moved into position. He's ready to shoot. Now that he's ready to shoot, he starts running this. Car shot cooldown greater than or equal to room speed times 1. Otherwise, increment. If you are set, then you set it to 0. Vehicle equals vehicle DS list. Here's a bug right here. This needs to be cars shot. That's probably what is preventing the shooting from happening right there. So let's try that.
The hardest part of this journey for me has been the diet. There was a
Cool. Try it. Dreary Thun. Sorry, man, I'm just now seeing your question. Hope you're still here. If not, hopefully you can come back and see this. Man, I'm self-taught in terms of coding. I've gone online quite a bit and done lots of reading of documentation and just watching a lot of videos where I needed to. A lot of it starts with watching videos and then is followed up by reading tons of documentation. So my coding basically comes from several years of experience. I've done a lot of work for web compiling hype. Yeah. So I've done a lot of work for web over the years since probably about 2005, and just recently in about 2014 at the beginning I started doing game programming, and I started with this game. Fortunately, I got set up with a good group of guys from the start, so we've been working on this for a little over a year and a half now. So hopefully that answers your question. I'll set up the collisions with the containers a little bit later too, just FYI, in case you're wondering. Oh look, they didn't pick up the location again. Huh. And he's still not firing them. Come on, dude. Somehow they didn't reconnect with. They did not reconnect with the parent. So let's look and see where that's happening at. So should have gotten reconnected. Point equals false. Point set equals false.
No, I need that. You know, Kim did amazing in phase 2 and really crushed her way in. She clearly has been putting in the work. So to reward her, I wanted to put her on the other side of the design.
That should be right. Man, I want to see these things get shot so bad. Alright, let's also look at the obstacles. Level 2, spinning, base spinning object. Parent set, car shot. What if the car is not shot? Okay, good. If the vector is not set, then set it and send it on its way.
We were going to play dress up, and I was very nervous that I wasn't going to fit any of the dresses.
Yeah, I think that is all correct. Car shooting position. So what we have to do now is just figure out if it's actually grabbing a vehicle here or not. It should be grabbing a vehicle. It should be starting at 0 on this vehicle DS list.
please lost weight. It just put everything into perspective for me. And I realized just how much.
Show debug message. Cool down. R shot. Cool down. This should be a number, 0 through 3. So, I mean, again, I think most of this is correct, but because I can't quickly identify what the issue is, I'm just going to set up some debug messaging, and hopefully the answer will be apparent as soon as I see the debug messaging. So once again, they're not reconnecting with the parent. And they reconnect right there. Okay, so I think I know what the problem is then. I think I'm running this in the wrong spot. Yeah. It needs to be happening. I need to figure out where I'm stopping it at. I'm doing a jab counter here, so I think this is where I need to run it instead of where I've got it currently. So, very simple solution. Boom, you're right there. And it did reattach itself. Let's look at any of this. Don't see anything here, so it never even hit any of my debug messaging. Car shooting position. Is that the exact name that I have that variable? That's what I think of first. If it's set to false, you should be looking for that position, which he is. He basically finds it and stops. Oh. Jab set counter is equal to 2. That's interesting. No. That was definitely the correct position. I'm looking at this here, and this is where I'm incrementing the set counter.
I guess we both really like outdoor space. Experience weather and nature. The Bel Air had area to grow.
That should have reconnected them.
A little bit more of India inside. A little bit more into architecture.
If it's not finished, then finish it.
The master suite is really nice. That is
Vehicle's not frozen. Let's look at the spinner.
I like the way the living room goes from the dining room
He does jab 1, jab 2. That changes jab counter 2 to 2. And then we increment the set counter before we send him off to the next phase.
My wish list of feeling India is, and so for a lot of reasons, still not sure it's worth the money.
He should be reconnecting after.
More Indian flick. I love these countertops. Nice rich woodwork.
So there's got to be a bug here.
Still may not be enough for the base. It almost has that Indian feel, so clear to get there.
Brought to you by the makers of Judy. To start with, moving your child's computer into a common area is a great first step. The cell phones are the
Jab counter 2.
child's tasks. And on my website, you can learn the secret codes that kids use. As parents, we're all in this together.
And let's look at what we're doing here. Alright, now we should see some more debugging here. Okay, let's look at this debugging. This looks good to me. Yes, we are hitting that jab counter. We hit it twice. That was expected. When we hit it this time, it should have prevented the spinning vehicle. So that means that's leading me towards the spinning vehicles having a bug. So if the point is not frozen, and fly around the parent. So they just continue doing this like they had the frozen point set still, even though I set the frozen point to false, and we proved that through the debug message. So the parent should have still been set because they were still flying around this orbit. And that is really odd. So literally they should have all reconnected. It's not frozen. Use the parent.x. Wow. So since I saw zeros here and zeros here, we should have definitely been reconnected to the parent, unless we got reconnected, but then we somehow got disconnected again, which is possible. So I think that's probably what's happening. We need to make sure that we're not hitting here again. And so we're going to add something here. Jab counter does not equal 2. Because it will get reset if it needs to be reset, and then we're fine with you know, this happening again where they get detached from the parent again. But I'm pretty sure that's what's happening because my debugging is showing that they are getting reattached to the parent. Basically, that's what that's telling me. But as I'm seeing it here, they could probably be getting detached again, and so we're just trying to prevent that here.
Skin surgery consultation. I just hope that I could get surgery. I wanted this, and I've worked hard.
How is that feeling? Like it's pretty empty, or?
It feels very deflated. Excellent work, but I'd love to share with you now is your body composition analysis.
Okay.
So excellent news. You started off at 58% body fat, and you're down to 33%. That's awesome. That's extraordinary. It shows how far you've come. The downside to potentially doing surgery now for your excess skin is that
let's try that, guys.
Still about 15 to 20 pounds away from getting into the
shoot those cars, man.
body fat. Okay. I think you'd be an excellent candidate at this time, but the risk is that if you do surgery now and you go on to lose that weight, that you may have a bit more deflation.
Oh, I see. 15 more pounds will put you exactly where you need to be for optimal results. Now, right, she said you qualify now. But do you want to settle for okay?
No. Okay, we've still got our debugging there. Let's output some information here. Let's see if it's getting returned on. It should be getting returned on once. But I also want to see what the jab counter is at this point as well. That should help us, should help enlighten us. Okay. Good play. Dadhood, it's been going good, man. Our daughter's doing great.
You get the same phone, same 4G LTE networks for half the cost.
Thanks for asking.
For you. Try this.
You have any kids?
Unlimited talk, text, and data with the first 5 gigabytes at high speed is just $45 a month. Straight talk wireless, only at Walmart.
Alright, let's see what's happening. Yeah. Looks good, looks good. Yeah, I expected that. They realign, which is fine. Let's look at the debugging. Okay, tell me what you got. So they attach. Jab counter is equal to 2. They detach. Jab counter equals 3 right here. So, and then at the very end, they are detached completely.
Yeah, Jason, we've heard some great stories about some of the families that benefit from the services here.
So, I think we don't want to actually let this happen.
Call us right now, 844-4PATE, about an hour to go. We'll see you back here in a bit.
Say, and jab counter is less than 2. So that would mean that it's not 2 or greater.
Nice wheels. Right back at you.
Aw, you guys. There's not much time left.
So,
the Honda Summer Clearance event ends soon. There's never been a better time.
What I'm thinking is maybe they got reattached, but then they got detached immediately following. And that shouldn't have happened, is what that looked like to me. Yes, there we go. Now, he doesn't fly to his next location, which makes me think that maybe Phase 5 isn't getting activated.
I've been thinking a lot about it, and I mean, that's why I'm on this journey, right? So I can be the best I can be. I know that I'm not where I want to be personally.
Sweet. That happened exactly the way we hoped it would.
This is what I want to be for the rest of my life.
It was wonderful to meet you.
Thank you for everything.
Am I hitting Phase 5? That's the question.
And I'm just going to be a happy, healthy person. Which is what I've always wanted to be.
So just doing some debugging here. All right, here we go. No kids here. My friends of coworkers have been having babies like there's no tomorrow, so I'm still surrounded by kids often. That's funny. What you got? Distance. So we made it to Phase 5 apparently. Because that wouldn't have happened unless we did. Hitting Phase 5, shooting position equals 0. Had a problem with distance. That's weird, man. Current X and Y to where we want to be X and Y. String distance, which is the same as that. Spelled it right? Yep. Floor of distance. Speed. Speed is not set here. Speed equals 3. Let's just set it to 3 there. I'm sure that's preventing him from moving where he needs to move to, because I'm pretty sure speed is 0 back here somewhere. Let's see. Speed 0. There it is. And if I never hit the point where speed gets turned on, where he's going up and down, like in this region, and I'm down here, he's going to stop. And so now I'm giving him his speed again 3 is here. I think we need to turn speed off again right here. Speed equals 0. Alright, so we're doing good, we're doing good. I know that's the issue. He can never get to the point where he can shoot if he doesn't have any speed. So let's remove some of this other debugging that I had in place. Otherwise, it'll just start cluttering. It'll just start being too noisy. Alright. So speed 0 there, and then as soon as he's done shooting cars, move into phase 6. We need to give him some speed here. Let's go speed equals 4, I don't know. And then he does an uppercut. Speed equals 0. And then he starts flying off screen. Speed equals enter screen speed. Boom. Okay.
Katie wrote more about it, and the guy who hit Elena
Hold on. Ooh, close. Okay, what do we got here? Copy abort. So we're farther, and he tried to shoot, but we had a problem with this variable right here. I must have spelled it wrong or something. Having a problem getting it. Line 10 of this guy. Step event. Widest spinner width should be here. Oh man, what happened to it? I definitely had that set on there. Did I accidentally set it on this guy? I think I must have in the boss loop. So we need to move that out of the boss loop real quick. Here it is. Yeah, these guys right here need to come out. Drop them inside of the create event here. Just attach them to the wrong object, basically. Boom. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Okay. Save everything, go. Oh man, what happened? Copy. He shouldn't have gone that far that fast. Uppercut position is not existent on 324 Julio, which it should be. Flip the reset loop real quick. Uppercut. That would probably explain what happened there, but it was like we incremented that number too quickly, and not all the cars were fired, so we got to figure out why the cars were not fired. Like, some of them were fired, which is really cool, actually. I liked the way that all looked. But we only fired 2 of them.
to hit tonight. Yes. And this is a big goal. If you make your goal,
Okay, now.
you won't have loose skin. You ready to weigh in? I'm ready. Okay. All right, Kim. When we started this journey, you weighed in at 279 pounds. 3 months ago, when we weighed in, you were 100.
Well, all those guys should have definitely been attached to a number. So we set car shot to true, and it should always hit this even if Skycurser comes back after being dead. It should basically fire it at him as soon as he's back. That was a little bit too fast. Let's throw this a little bit slower. Try 4 instead of 6. But I'm expecting to see some weird stuff here. Should throw 1 every second. Greater than or equal to reset. Plus. Okay, let's check this out again. I'm expecting to see 0 through 3 here. See, that was really easy to destroy him. He's gonna have to be quite a bit stronger, I think. Two, 3, and then he never shoots the 4th one. 0 through 2. Should have been 3 eventually. The second we hit 3 though, we started into the next phase. So let's hit 4. Let me think through this for a second. Yeah, 4. And then we should be able to throw all of them. Let's also see. I think I'm okay with the way that looks right now. I did not see him do the uppercut, which I was a little bit sad about right there. Before he flew off screen. Action uppercut.
I'm generally a pretty trusting person myself.
They play the odds, but eventually the odds catch up, and when we do catch people.
Now it's Rutledge is on the hook, facing charges of theft and corrupt business influence. Rutledge is charged with 2 felonies, and authorities ask anyone out there who
Uppercut position, speed, boom, boom. He did fly off screen. 14, I think, for a second. Oh, did he do an uppercut? I wasn't paying attention, maybe. Alright, let's try that again. If he did the uppercut, I was so focused on the throwing of the vehicles and obstacles that I was not focused on the uppercut. So let's run that again. I did see him leave the screen, so then if it's all set up right, Julio should probably come back on screen. Oh, Julio will come back on screen as soon as I remove one of the properties that I set on him. Boom, there it is. Boom. Okay, now think, let's connect them all together. Save everything, save everything. Julio, you get a property removed from you that is actually, let's activate you. Let's remove that on you, and then on Cesar, he should be false by default anyway, so let's try this. Boom.
Whoever it is that performed this heinous act needs to be held accountable. Somebody knows what happened. We've got to get them to come forward and speak so that we can get this straightened out. But we need to make a change. We need to adjust our thinking, our mindset.
Okay, there's one thing that I'm missing here, and that is, I think, right here. See this real quick. I'm basically just trying to jump right in with Julio and then let them switch out. Screen modified. Cesar. Okay, yeah, that should have done it right there. Yeah, let's try that.
Yesterday at lunchtime on Lewis Boulevard between US 31 and Fly Road. That's right in the Park Mall. Eyewitnesses were David McAnally, but now left to ask why.
There he is. You jerk. Get out of here, Julio. Alright, we're literally just trying to let him finish through his routine so we can prove that Cesar comes out. Alright. Oh, Cesar, where are you, man? You're late. You jerk. So it's got to be something to do with when I do the reset loop here on Julio. We should be reset loop for Julio. Cool. But we set this to true and this to true, so argument 1 to true should mean he's not activated, and if the parent is set, we then tag Cesar in, we activate him, we give him a speed, we also remove Julio's tag and remove Julio's activation. Also, if we do the opposite of that, we go tag Cesar, Cesar is activated, both false, tag Julio activated. Okay, let me look at the other one. So the defaults are false, false. So activated equals true. Cesar be slacking. Oh, here we go. This is backwards, I think. And how did that get updated to be the opposite? Okay, no, we're good. Tag Julio in. Julio's activated. Give Julio speed. Cesar's not tagged. We're activated. Otherwise, if false, parent is set. Julio is not tagged in. Not activated. Cesar is activated and true. That looks correct to me.
She says that Mary invited her to his home to see the view and then forced her to have sex.
Tag Julio, okay.
The jury also heard from crime scene investigators who collected the woman's clothing and blood-stained sheets from the apartment. Closing arguments were begun by the court.
Okay, so we're good there. Let's go look at defaults for Cesar real quick. Cesar should be not activated by default. He should get activated right there. He should be tagged in. He's activated, he's tagged when Julio gets right here. So tag Cesar activated.
Like, even though we're sitting right here, people are going to be able to see it everywhere.
Sometimes it's hard to get Zach to listen when he's so dead set on something, and thinks he's right about it.
I can't believe you don't trust us. You're not going to believe us unless you see it, probably, but you're going to believe us.
My background was my jam.
And everything is ruined because we don't get that right now.
Think about that for a second. Oh, there might be some variables I need to modify on Cesar with the off-screen stuff. So we've got off-screen modified. Maybe not, because these really shouldn't affect any of that.
The worst word a man can ever hear in his entire life. I told you so. You never want to hear it. You stay away from those words no matter what. Okay?
Is this our first disagreement?
Off-screen, false.
Do you not like it though?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, I don't see what the issue is here. Let's go look at
Everything you're saying was taking place right before my eyes.
must be something else in this event that I'm missing.
Jeremy and Audrey, Zach and Troy got married on the family farm. Having done it once before, we were planning a wedding for the second time around with the 11.
Let's verify that we're hitting where we think we should hit.
I have a vision. There's someone else looking exactly like someone that I like. You know that tree down in that middle of the field?
Deactivated. Tag Cesar. Now we can just go ahead and verify that Julio's doing what we think he should be doing when he gets created. And now that I'm thinking about this, he gets created at the exact same time Cesar does.
The gazebo here in the place of the church.
The kids think it's simple to move things all around the farm. I mean, they've seen me do it so many times.
So I wonder if I do need to just keep this in and say false.
But I didn't plan on moving it ever again. But right now, the church is kind of fragile.
Because all this should really gets run at the very beginning for Cesar. Cesar reset. That'll probably happen immediately, and it should happen again later. Let's see. No, technically it shouldn't. It should only happen once. And I think it'll only happen at the very beginning. And if Cesar were to come on, it would happen at the end of his loop, but
What was it like growing up with all those structures and all those fun places to play?
I don't know. It was when we grew up. Like, it was looking back now, when we were kids, like, that was a big part of our growing up, having all that stage, like, yeah, run around, it was bored, and, we see our dad creating all these things, and we didn't get into going back there, farms, and grab all these flags, and go.
alright, debugging. Here we go. Deactivated. Tag Cesar. So that is actually happening.
Did you have a favorite spot?
This parent object boss 2 is a little crazy. I don't need any of that debug messaging. So Cesar reset right at the very beginning. Yep. But I have him deactivated right after that. Right here. And so none of this should run.
So who's going to be first? Can you give us a hint about this super secret?
Wonder if.
And just like the show, I don't even know, so I'll know when it's probably all done.
Parent should be set to true there.
Well, that was my idea.
Did you feel at any point maybe we made the wrong decision?
Okay, yes, I'm all done.
Or even this, I wonder if its XY position is really messed up. Parent set. Go back up, sorry. So we should see him activated after Julio activates him. Well, he should be deactivated for a long time and then reactivated.
He appears to put his hands in the air, but he was shocked. They were not going to show you that moment. It's not clear if the man was fine. I want to believe they video from a corporate camera, not their police.
So we'll look at tag Cesar here. Parent.tag Cesar. And we can't run any of these unless parent is set. There's probably at least one frame where parent wouldn't be set as soon as you create. Let's try this again.
But the majority of the firearms were businesses may have been taken to Chicago to be sold. Investigators say DeAndre Cleveland was the mastermind of that plot and solicited help of continue to pull off that crime. Now working with several police departments in Chicago area to recover the rest of those guns. Call-up video caught him that knocks out a 54-year-old man at a park. Now, 3 teenagers in Indiana are facing serious charges. The video shows those 2 teenagers who have the money. They left the man into a more deep Indiana park. Then they knocked him down on the separate ground and robbed him. After this video went viral, the 2 turned themselves in. Prosecutors are now charging with robbery, assault, and injury. Their initial hearing is set for Thursday. And police in Massachusetts say a 12-year-old could take the help of now but would be burdened. The girl was home alone, and a man tried to find his way in.
911 advising they called an emergency.
She sounds scared, but she did manage to stay calm enough to get critical information to dispatchers. She used her smartphone to record photos
Oh, look at this.
from her upstairs window.
Okay, so
Now, police quickly responded.
Cesar gets reset immediately. His parent is set. He's not activated. He's not tagged.
To back down on her religious principles,
So the way it should be until the very end. At the very end, he is activated and he is tagged, but we don't see anything. What could that mean? That could potentially mean that his X and Y position are way far off screen. Put that in here so we can see it once he's been activated.
So I realized that when I talk on the phone, it sounds like bad reception. Just sounds.
All right, let's try this again.
I have spread.
Wow, sure going up in A-bomb, a move to California for the stand-up comedian. He's one of 21 acts still in the running for $1 million prize. And the first 11 perform tonight, but only 5 will make it through to the finale. Voting is open until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and the results will be revealed tomorrow night. We'll have all the information you need on how to vote. Visit our website at www.com along with a full video of Drew's performance from tonight's show. So fun. So let me get fun here. And outside tonight, Chicago is warm by the feel like summer.
It feels like summer, and it's the first day of September, and it's going to stay summer-like over the next several days. We also got some summertime pop-up thunderstorms during the afternoon hours. They're just kind of falling apart, but the upper level weather system is still close enough.
Okay, let's see what the positions are. Ooh, that's the problem. Look at that. Ha! How could his X and Y be so far off like that? That's crazy. So, we'll probably see X and Y for like 1 frame at the beginning. Nope. That's good. And then we actually call him. He's flying in, but he's not. He can't make it quick enough. So we have this problem with Julio. I forget, and I'm not really sure why their position gets so far off. But how about when we reset them, we set up their X and Y position to be right off screen. That should probably fix what we're seeing here. So this is the reset piece right here for Cesar. So let's do this. Let's go over the reset loop. And when we tag him in, that happens right here. We tag him in, we'll say before even, I guess it doesn't really matter, but we'll say arg0.parent.cesar's X position is reset to here. Why he's off in La La Land, I'm not sure. We'll do the same thing with Julio, all the way down at the other end. Just so that they're queued up to fly in right off screen. Just so odd that they're so far off like that. I'm not really sure a better solution for it than this right here. But that's good though, because that means everything else is working as we hoped it would be. He's flying in, and he will fly in once this is corrected. So.
Laura P on Facebook asked, "What's the hardest part about raising 2 average-sized boys?"
I don't know. I mean, for me, I think it was more about what I may not be able to do as a mom. Because, like, you know, a lot of parents are so able to put their kids up when they're in 6th grade. Well, that ain't happening. And so it was just wondering what type of mom Was I going to be, or could I be, I don't know, just to make sure that regardless of how much power you are in me, do I still represent that mother to them, that love and also discipline. And
There he is. Look at that, guys. Boom. And of course he hits me. A little bit slower. A little bit slower. Boom, boom. Power up. Do your thing. Throw your vehicles and obstacles. Miss me on punches. 1 1,000 throw. 2 1,000. 3 1,000. 4 1,000. Oh, so the uppercut, he doesn't actually go all the way up screen like I want him to. I want him to move. Oh, there. They switched. Boom. Guys. See what I'm saying? Boom.
to me is to learn how to express yourself, regardless of whether it may not be comfortable with the other person, but just really learn.
Alright, so the reason why I wasn't seeing Julio Cesar's uppercut is because it's not that noticeable. So what I'd like to do is just change his X position quickly on the uppercut. So uppercut happens here. We'll just say X equals oh, sorry, that's actually going to be a Y equals room height divided by 4. That should be good. That should just throw him up top of the screen really quickly and let the animation continue. Should basically give the illusion of him, his uppercut going across screen. So they swapped in and out. The next thing that I have to work on is the quarter hit points. So there's going to have to be, when they hit a certain number, they're going to have to fly off screen one at a time. You know, I'll do once, I'll damage Julio down to a quarter, not actually a quarter, but 3/4 hit points. And I'll do this, he'll fly off screen at that point, and then I'll do the same thing for Cesar, damage him down to 3/4 hit points. And when they're both down to 3/4 hit points, and they both come out at the same time, which will be very cool. So let's see here. I want to make sure I got the uppercut right, so let's just look at that first real quick. Say what?
Alarm is on.
Thanks, Bob. Oh, that was a hard one to dodge. Man, that was pretty good, actually. Let's see if I can dodge that. Oh man, there's got to be a way. So you dodge it if you stay all the way back. Okay, okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. Next. Okay, so we're go. Yeah.
Can you turn it down to 69?
Sure. Okay, so now we're going to say boss 2, Julio. Max hit points here, which you can go through pretty freaking quick. And actually, his hit points are supposed to be 1,500. So this is going to be, I think we're going to have to tweak these numbers quite a bit. Okay, so together they are 3,000, which is what Gaki is. Gaki's 3,000 hit points. Okay, so we're going to make him quarter hit points equals max HP divided by 4. Same thing here. Quarter hit points equals max HP divided by 4. Cool. All right. Now let's think through this logic. In the step event, if he is activated and his hit points drop let's see where this is at. I'm looking to see. Where does this begin at? Initial entry complete. It just is on this level. Okay, cool. So really it could happen here. And let's set up a few more variables here. Cancel, don't close it all the way. Go to here and set up the reset loop to have a few more variables. Let's say sorry about that if that was a little loud. Let's say can't really call it phase 1, but we can call it loop 1. Equals true by default. We'll do the same thing over here. True by default. And so we can say if loop 1, if HP is less than or equal to quarter hit points, loop 1 equals false. And I think what we do is just immediately set all other phases to false and send him right off to phase 6. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this should literally just send him right on down to phase 6, and we'll make sure to just go ahead and put initial entry to, do I even need to do that? Yeah, we'll put initial entry equals complete here. Try again. True. Initial entry complete equals true. Go straight to phase 6, which will do all the resets as necessary. Perfectly fine with that. And then the next time, loop 1 won't be true. Shoot. Oh yeah, we'll make sure that gets into the reset loop. If arg0 dot quarter HP less than or equal to arg0 dot HP arg0 dot loop 1 equals false. True by default, false if drop under. Okay, so I'm going to grab this, literally take this over to Cesar. I think I set that loop up backwards, or the check for the hit points if HP is less than or equal to quarter hit points. That's Julio, back to Cesar, give me that step event. Let's remove these debunked messages. And I think we have 7 phases here. Let's just verify this by looking real quick. Phase 7. How many levels are you guys planning? Minimum 5, max 8. 7 equals true, false here. Boom. Okay, cool. I think that sets them into the correct place. Next time around, they're destroyed, or I think we need to do one more check, which is both of them are down. Thinking. Well, on the reset loop, we can't do the tag. Hit points. You're not going to get any additional developers to help. As of right now, no. We've got some plans to get some other games started while we're in the middle of building this, but I think this is going to go faster and faster the more we work on it. Our goal actually is to have this completed by February of next year, so regardless, we should be pretty close to that. I think Chris is already working ahead on all the artwork. Alright. So, if we're trying to say true here, which is tag the partner in, if arg2 and arg0.parent.c.loop1 is equal to true. Can't wait to see the other games we put out. Sweet, dude. Thanks, man. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Thinking here. So he's flown back out. Honestly, I think we're gonna have to reverse this piece right here. Put this down here, and since we're activating Julio back up, we're only activating Julio if let's try that for now. If Cesar is finished with loop 1, then tag Julio back in, basically. That might be a good idea, dude. Thanks for the heads up on that. Yeah, that's a very good point. Oh, I'm surprised we haven't done that yet, actually. Give me just a second here, guys. Cool, there it is. Alright, got it set up. Alright, continuing on here though. Loop 1. If Julio doesn't have loop 1, then set him back in there. So all right. Okay, last but not least, if both of them are below quarter hit point marks, and actually now that I think about it, my math is incorrect on this quarter hit points. It basically needs to be max hit points divided by 4 times 3. So I think what we're going to do is set a property on the parent, which is here. And it'll be both activated is false. If both are activated, then I don't even really care what the other argument is. Need to add the speed on there. Let's grab that. Cool. If both are activated, then activate both of them. Set them right where they should be and send them off. Okay. So I think what we do is whenever we do the reset loop, Yeah, because I mean it should basically all just happen in the reset loop. If r0.parent.c.loop1 Cesar's loop, if he's done with his first loop, then we just say r0.parent.both activated is false or equals true. We'll do the same thing over here. Basically, when you're doing the check, then you just determine immediately. Oops. Here we go. Give me just 1 minute, guys. Gotta check on the little one. Cool, sorry about that. Alright, both are activated right there. I think what we do here is just run this. I think we'll just run this right here. So it immediately activates both if necessary. Just run it right before we do the check. Cool. And that way we don't care at all what is passed in or what anything else is doing. Awesome, dude. Thanks a lot, man. Okay, let's hit play on that. And I think a mosquito's eating me alive over here. What's going on? Board. Gotta make sure parent is set first before we do that check. I mean, do I need to do this right here? Not really, but that's just going to guarantee. Alright, try it again. Come on, come on. Distance less than or equal to 10. $335. So we're already trying to hit phase 6, huh? Loop 1, HP less than quarter hit points, really? Why are we trying to jump down there already? I know what it is. Everything's getting set right here, right off the bat. So let's fix this. On both of them. Everything really should be inside that if statement. So he's frozen for whatever reason. I think he's maybe just deactivated. And he keeps trying to fly out, but we're not letting him. But that was pretty cool. Why would he be getting frozen? Reset loop. I'm noticing that I don't set him to activate it at all in his reset bars here. So I think when he comes out, he should be activating Julio. How is Julio getting activated at all, really? But nonetheless, my point remains for their hit points. You see how quick they got knocked out, and then they were both supposed to be back in together already. Oh, okay, so he's getting activated right here. If I wasn't passing an argument to it all. Is it okay to keep it that way? Yeah, probably. Alright, let's try again. Okay, so same bug. All of his variables should be getting reset when he hops off screen. He is going really fast when he comes back in, so he might just not be hitting his point in order to be activated into his loop. I set initial entry complete to false here. Yes, I do. It's almost like initial entry complete is just getting set to false and true over and over again. What am I missing? Okay guys, I've been going for almost 3 hours. I'm at a really good stopping point. Of course I don't have this this bug worked out, but this will be a good place to pick up tomorrow. Be an easy reminder to us exactly where to pick up. Of course I always like to, you know, have like a perfect coding session where I'm leaving and there's no bugs left, but you know, can't get them all. Like I've had plenty of coding sessions where I've had to, you know, get some sleep and get back at it later on. So this will be a good spot to pick up tomorrow. So hope all is well with you guys. P-Dog Jr., man, thanks for hanging out in chat. I appreciate it big time. Guys, thanks for all your support. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us online. Skycurser.com is probably the best place to start. Of course, we're always readily available on Twitch or email if you find our email there on Skycurser.com. So, as always, guys, thanks a lot, and I will see